we're going to imagine that we are pulled through space and maybe time to a very different place. So you are no longer Shell or Teeter. We're going to find out who you are in just a moment here. But we're going far, far away is all that matters here.
Is it like a galaxy far, far away?
No, that would be stupid. This is Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
So, you both suddenly come to your senses. The darkness of whatever held you a moment before lets go completely. You find yourselves in a large, dilapidated room. The sky is partially visible through large holes in the roof, and what is left of the walls and furniture around you has been sitting here for a long time. Broken pipes and dusty electrical wires are hanging from a wall a few feet to one side of you. At the far end of the room, you see a poorly boarded up window next to a door hanging from its last hinge. It smells moldy, and the dim light of evening shows why. Whatever this used to be was destroyed and left that way. The air is thick where you're sitting, but the slight breeze feels like early fall. The wind also gives you a brief respite from the mold smell, but instead, you just get stale smoke. As you try to shift from where you're sitting, you notice you're unable to move. You are both sat down, back to back, and tied together. Something between you is tethering you both to the ground. With nowhere to go, you start speaking with the other being behind you. Introductions are needed. We're going to roll 4 dice to get each of you. We'll go in alphabetical order, and Zaz loses again. So, cognition for Hammer's character.
Yeah.
So Eve the rat and
Thanks for
the
the
flying pig was
Gene
Maud.
Gene and Eve. Yeah, I get it.
Can I have like the 2 dots over my O?
Gene Mood? And Mood.
Like Maudly crew.
Gene Mood. Was this in...
sure.
Yeah. I'm a Gina Mood.
It's a bit...
You're gonna keep that accent.
a pig that...
No, not at all.
So, Eve and Jean make their introductions, and the full darkness of nighttime has taken over. There seems to be some noise outside, but it all sounds very far away. And at the same time, you both notice a scratching in your lower backs. It starts to move upwards. From the floor, it makes its way straight up slowly. As it gets about halfway up your back, you can start to hear noise. And you can make out, Jeebus Christ! The crawl continues, but it's now accented with grunts and cursing. When the small creature reaches your shoulder, you can both see from the corner of your eye a small axolotl.
Yep. That's a dick.
The small axolotl is carrying a sword bigger than itself, but it seems very happy to see you both. What's up? I'm Foley, and I'm here to rescue you jizzbags.
Foley.
Good thing, too.
Hey, Foley.
It's almost gator time.
I'll be... Sure is.
Foley leaps and dives for the small space between the two of you. The chain holding you to the floor becomes even more taut and forces you both to lean back and down. The tiny voiced cursing starts again. This goes on for a few minutes until you hear, "Hi-ya!" and the pressure releases. Foley scurries out from under you and again looks very pleased. Okay.
Yeah.
Note to self: don't mess with Foley.
Step 1, the
Sorry.
chain is broken, but you
Oh,
two are
no.
still all tied up. The good news is, step 2 is even easier. Foley starts to run circles around you. His sword trails behind him. Suddenly, he leaps up and becomes a blur as he runs around your midsections. When he stops and appears back on the floor, his smile broadens once more, and he proclaims, "Well, that should do it." The ropes holding you fall in tatters and release you completely.
I think Foley rolled like a high 20 in his exposition.
I can't believe the two of you are still here and alive. When Gator time was over this morning, something big dropped you off here and walked away. Could have swore somebody would have robbed yous already. Probably offed you while they were at it. But then I almost forgot you were here too. Till I passed by on my way home, that is. Huh. You guys thirsty? I got some grub hidden in the back room. Weapons too if you need them. You never know what's going to show. Foley is interrupted by a large whoomp outside. The door rattles on its last hinge and falls with a dull thud. The dust on the ground seems to have muffled the sound, but it was also disturbed enough to form a cloud. Through the cloud walks a large figure in a hood. The figure fully crosses the threshold and stops. Silence falls over everything for a long moment. Foley steps forward towards the figure, and his smile drops. And he says, "You fucking idiot. Your clan was decimated, and you don't belong here. You don't belong anywhere anymore. Get out, before I bite another inch off of your dirty and fully cease to exist." The small puddle of blood draining into the new bullet hole in the floor is all to suggest that he had existed at all.
Wait.
I like the dude. Like, that's not cool.
The large robed figure tucks the gun back inside of his sleeve and pushes back its hood. A bright pink mohawk protrudes from between two stubbed horns on either side of a fluffy white head. Its neck is adorned with huge gold chains matching the large circular earrings. It stepped into the space occupied moments before by Foley and speaks. "You might be the luckiest motherfuckers I've ever seen. Nice to meet you. I'm Mr. She." Puh. He offers his hand and continues, "I wouldn't trust the back room if I were you. It's probably wired to blow as soon as you get inside. This tiny piece of shit was one of the meanest fucks this side of the Moonball Sheila. Now listen, you are, temporarily at least, safe. I've got an offer for you. That little fuck was right. My clan was decimated. I'm rebuilding, but I need help. I spent a lot of time, money, and favors to find you both, because I think you'd be a great place to start. It's a dangerous business, but lucrative. Lots of travel, a little bit of violence. Nothing I think you can't handle. But you don't have to answer right now. We don't have time for that anyways. If you want to survive, we've got to get someplace else." Mr. She leads you both past the opening where the door used to be. There isn't much more light outside, but you can see the rest of the immediate neighborhood looks exactly like the building you've just exited. Looking behind you, you see a sign hanging precariously above the door you just walked out from. Bebby's Old Time Sandwich Shop, it says. "Stay close. Stay quick. We need to get all the way over there." Mr. She points towards the south. When you scan your eyes that direction, you notice a river separating you from what appears to be a vibrant city, a stark contrast to the darkness surrounding you. There also seems to be something shimmering on the shore. Not quite a shimmer, but you can't make out what it is. Mr. She notices you looking. "Weird sight, huh? That's why we need to move. It's Gator time, and they'll be patrolling the entire North Shore until daylight. Most of them haven't mutated much, but fuck my dirty asshole, are they smart and strong. Got a few shortcuts, but we should be prepared for a fight. Take these." He tosses a pack at both of your feet. You stand up and he says, "Welcome to Bittspurgh, bitches."